Okay, here we go. All right, so the course, I designed the course honestly on the fly because when the course was originally written, it was with the EdGPA in mind. And then obviously things evolved and we were never really sure, and we still aren't really, if we're going back to the EdGPA. But again, congratulations, we know that you do not have to take it. You're in and you'll never have to take it. You're grandfathered in, so to speak. So that's good for you. For the instructors, it kind of presents a problem. So what I thought, when the pandemic first hit, I sat with the class just like I'm sitting with you and said, no, we still kind of don't know a whole lot, but we know much more than we did. And at that time I said, what do you want to do? And I was open to anything. And they, and I know that a lot of them were using Google Classroom, and I knew a little bit. And I said, you want to learn that and, create this classroom and kind of figure out how to navigate that? And they said, sure. So that's what we did. And then we used that to create a website. And then from there, it evolved into the portfolio. And all a portfolio is a collection of your work. So think if you were an artist, like a painter, artist, or a sculptor, you would show your best work, your best sculptures or your best paintings. It's kind of like that. But as in teaching, you show lesson plans, you show your classroom management plan, you show your philosophy of education, those kind of things. But the great thing about it, I set it up, the rubric and all that stuff and all the requirements. So, but I'm flexible with it, because the last thing I want is for all of these to look the same, because it's really supposed to be your originality, your personality coming through, and that's what's important. And then to go back to this document, and I'll share this with all of you, but this is I think I put it in a couple places in our course, but you'll get this as well. It's in this presentation. But every week or module, same thing, has a theme, which is right here. Can you guys see my screen? First of all, I should ask that. Like week 1 is lesson planning. Okay, so we're doing, in this week, your assignments do icebreaker, the discussion board, which again, all of you nailed out of the park. You were awesome with that. And then it's optional, but highly suggested to come tonight. Thank you for being here. And then it's just start your portfolio. And if you go down through, I'll save time. I mean, you'll have this document, but for our course, you'll see there's a discussion board and the e-portfolio, and then a couple other assignments, basically an e-portfolio check-in that I'll do next week, week 4 and week 6. And it's just 3 simple questions. It's not a huge deal. And then at the end of the term, you're going to fill out a disposition survey, which you may have done in the past, but that's not until week 9 or 10. Due in week 10, you'll start it in week 9. And 1 week, there's a resource sharing doc where Allison may have an awesome website or teaching resource, and we're going to make one big resource. So you have kind of and we did that last term a little bit, but we're going to do it again to make sure that you have a ton of resources. And as you're in school, I am sure you're coming across many, many new, very cool things that the teachers are using. I want you to share those so everybody has kind of a look into what that is. So we're going to do that. And then the end of the course survey. But other than that, that's about it. But this document has all of your assignments and the module they're due. So before I go on with that, any questions about this? Pretty self-explanatory, right?
For the discussion,
go ahead, Jeanette. I think I say your name.
Yeah. For the discussion, do we have to reply to our classmates too?
I would love you to, but the thing I'm looking most at, the thing I'm paying most attention to are your responses. Okay. I think all of us would benefit, from each other's feedback, because again, we have a common goal. We all want to get our job at the end of this. It's real important to all of us, me included. So the more feedback you get, the better. And so, am I going to nitpick and, deduct a ton of points if you're not responding to others, probably not, but I really would prefer you do.
Okay, thank you.
So it's encouraged, but not mandatory.
Highly encouraged, yeah.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
And Latanya, hi.
Hey, so I have printed
Great
all
video,
this
by the way.
out because, oh, thank you. I have printed all this out, and I had a meeting with my field coach yesterday, and she said that my first Go React video was doing the 31st.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. And who's your coach? You know?
Barb.
Okay. All right. All right, we will get into that. So I promise I'll tell you all about Go React. We're going to spend most of the time registering and doing that thing. All right,
Okay.
next. Promise. Another question for you. True or false, your main goal this term is to practice your teaching skills and prepare to lead your own class after graduation. This is high stake, guys. No pressure. Time's up. The answer is true. That's your main concern, all the other, and there's the leaderboard. This is also cool. Kind of shows you what you can do with your students. Obviously, I made it pretty easy, true or false questions, but you can, make up your own questions, and it has that leaderboard. Little kids love that. Adults love it. I mean, I've seen this kind of thing with professors and they love it. So, all right. True or false, the discussion board this term was created to help you prepare for your teaching interview. All questions are typical interview questions you may be asked. And I think we get this one. The answer is true for sure. Now I say maybe because you never know. In the follow-up, I typed in the announcement as I was watching and listening and reading all your responses to the first question, why'd you become a teacher? It occurred to me, my follow-up question in an interview to you would be, well, why do you want to work at this particular school? So that's where you do your research on the school. You don't have to, be an expert and know everything about the school, but know some reasons why that school is a good fit for you, or why you are a good fit to work at that school, because that would be my guess that would be the follow-up question. All right, so the syllabus, we're going to skip this one for now. The syllabus, it kind of breaks down all of the things I discussed about, like the portfolio, the discussion board, and the portfolio check-ins and all that. So definitely go to your syllabus if you have any questions. I tried to make it as clear as possible, and I was going to take time to do that tonight, but I don't think we have to. Another question. And this was about the syllabus. This will tell me who actually read it. True or false? You essentially have 8 responsibilities for 470 this term. Basically, more or less. It's not a great question, but that's one thing they don't tell you either in school, is it's hard to write quizzes for kids. It's really, I wasn't good at it, but it's true. It is. You basically have 8 things that, major things that I want you to accomplish, with the e-portfolio being one. So that's true. All right. And the big one, your e-portfolio. So I sent this, here are the instructions. I'm going to open this doc and move you guys around. So this lays out this. Can you see this document? Okay. Latanya, Allison, you're the only 2 I can see. Now, again, this is laid out. So, okay, you're going to include all of these things, like definitely your current resume. You have to have that, right? And your teaching philosophy, if I'm not mistaken, you wrote that in EDU 200 or EDU 210, right when you first started. So you have a lot of these documents. Lesson plans, you already have I would hope, so many lesson plans that you wrote. Pick your best ones and you want to showcase them here. If you have 2 instead of 3, okay, that's fine. So I am.
Oh, wait,
pretty-
Professor, I
Yeah.
have a question. So only thing that threw me off about that, you said they had to be consecutive, like related. I have like 2 geometry lessons. It can be anything like you've already done, or is it something we gotta do now while we're student teachers?
No,
I was a little
it does.
confused.
It doesn't have to be anything you do now. I think I'm open to what I really want, even more than, and that's where I'm saying I'm flexible, like they should be connected. You mentioned that, that's true, that's written there. I want your best lesson plans, if they're connected or
You
not.
just want the best ones we got,
The
our
best
favorite
ones.
ones, the ones we're
The-
most proud of.
Yes, the ones
Okay.
that, where the
Well, that take
students
a lot of
knocked
weight
it
off
out
my
of the park,
shoulder.
where the students knocked it out of the park and it went really well and you just felt great and the students learned a lot. So there's some flexibility in here, and thank you for asking that question.
I was like worried about that. I'm like, so we're gonna have to do 3 lesson plans that are connected. I was like, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, gotcha.
No, you got it. So yeah, if you come down, like I forget who I already forget who we were talking to at the beginning of the call, who said they were teaching 27 students online, 1 and 3 students in class. Was that Allison? If it is, I apologize. My memory is, I'm getting old, guys. But an example of a remote lesson, it might be a snippet of 2 minutes from that class. And again, it could totally understanding the restrictions with the moving the environment around. You're probably not going to have desks together. It could be just a shot of you teaching. It's really to hear your cadence, your rhythm, and your pacing and all that sort of thing. And I see a couple questions, so I'm going to wait a second. All right. Okay, that one was a direct message to me. Okay. And thank you. And I think the question was, well, what if I don't know what my 2 best lessons are? So that is a great time to connect with me one-on-one to say, Mr. Green, what do you think? Here are 3 lessons or 4 lessons. I'm thinking of, I want 2 or 3 in there. Which ones do you think are strongest? Or you make the case to me what you think is strongest, and I'll listen and explain why. And I think another question you'll be asked in an interview, to kind of bounce around here a little bit, sorry, is you may be asked, I've been asked a lot of teaching interviews that I've been on, well, tell me about a lesson you taught. So the act of putting this together, when you pick your 2 or 3 best lessons and put them in here, you're going to remember that. So if the principal or whoever's hiring you asks you, tell me about a lesson you taught, you can say, oh, well, I remember the lesson I put in my portfolio, and boom, you got it. Like it's got to come off like very natural, right? I'm not the best interviewer. I don't know, maybe some of you are. Like I think LaTanya was so good on camera, and she's probably an awesome interviewer, but not everybody is. So practice is the key.
So Neil, what do you say in an interview question where they say, well, tell us about a time? Because usually they ask something positive and then they ask something negative. Tell me about a time where your lesson didn't go so well. Like,
That's right. That's right. And a few of the questions, I started out with the discussion this week of why do you want to become a teacher, which is kind of a, like a question we should all hit out of the park, which you did, because I wanted to hear passion. I wanted to see how passionate you were about teaching. A lot of you talked about how it was your calling. You knew when you were a little kid because you played school, or you had a role model that really meant something to you. That is what I wanted to hear. But the other questions are structured as well to kind of pull out those things. And you're right, like they may ask you, oh, okay, well, that went well. What happened a time when a lesson didn't go so well? What did you do? How did you handle that? So we'll get into that as well. And if we don't on the discussions for whatever, which we likely will, then we can talk about it either in this group, or I'll send an email, like an announcement or something like that, to make sure you're covered. Okay. But this is what to put in they're called artifacts. So maybe you have a letter home to families. You wrote a letter introducing yourself, which you did, right? You could put that in here. That's fine. So a lot of you have parent-teacher conferences that you've attended. Put that in here. If you can take pictures of the classroom, please do, because those are absolutely wonderful visuals you can put in your portfolio. So this, hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory. Again, if you get to something that is like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, that's okay. Like just say, hey, Mr. Green, I'm kind of nervous about this. Is there another option? And we can talk it through, because again, it's all about you. I want to make sure that you come through in this portfolio and it really expresses who you are and what you bring to the table for this school that you're hiring for. And
So really quick, Neil. So is
Uh-huh.
all of those parts a requirement? Like we need to put all of that in there?
I want you to try your best to put them all in there.
Mhm.
And if one or two items are missing, we can talk about it. But there are some crucial things, like
Of course.
you have to have your resume.
Philosophy, your
You know?
resume, cover letter,
So
right.
yeah, you go through and think of what the big ones are, like resume,
Gotcha.
philosophy, lesson plans, and I mean,
What's really gonna show them you.
classroom management, yes, all of those kind of things. You go through and kind of pick what the most important things are, and then put them in
Gotcha.
there. And
Okay.
and again, hopefully you've done all these things in your courses pretty much, so you're not going to have to create new things. Your hard part is going to be finding these things, like in your folder. However, hopefully you're more organized than me and saved everything like in a folder, so you can easily go and pick it out.
Yeah, I'm not. So
So you'll
I
find
think
it
I'm
though.
gonna need support trying to create the website. That looked kind of hard. I was like freaking out. Like
I'll show
what
you.
to do.
I'll share something in 1 second. I promise about that.
Okay, no problem.
So weeks 2, 4, and 6, I'm going to do a check-in. Here's the check-in form. You're just going to click File, make a copy, and then it's your own. And then you can type in whatever you want. 3 questions. It's like, what progress have you made up to this point? What have you completed so far? And if it's, just getting started or just trying to organize my papers or documents for the portfolio, okay. And then what do you plan on working on this next week for your portfolio, and any challenges you're having? This would be a great spot to tell me, like, hey, I'm worried about the connected lesson plans, and we can talk it through. But that's what the e-portfolio check-in is. And it's only 3 times the term. So the first one's going to be next week. So I know you're just getting started. But let me show you what this looks like, because until you see it, it kind of is like, what's he talking about? So I always pick Marlene. She's a graduate, and she was my student teacher right during the pandemic. And she happened to be Google certified, which was she taught me a bunch. She's amazing. She had, I think, 4 job offers by the time she graduated. But this is what her portfolio looks like, and this document is in the slides that I'll send you. But as you kind of click through, it tells you about her certification, her teaching philosophy. And then she has recommendation letters, which I will write for you towards the end of the term. I'll let you know if you're interested in me writing one for you. Then I'll write one at the end of the term, and you can put those recommendation letters in there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sure I wrote one for her. There's Professor Dwell. Okay, so cool. So you can see, kind of how this is laid out. But you see, it's just a really attractive kind of showcase piece. And again, it's not going to get you a job. They're not going to say, oh, well, Marlene's hired because she has a beautiful portfolio. But when you think about applying for a job, somebody's got some nice music going. Whenever you think about applying for a job, you send in your resume or CV. But I mean, okay, so here's the CV. Imagine just sending that or sending a link to this portfolio. Who do you think it's human nature to automatically say, wow, we give, Marlene an edge here, like she's looking like a strong candidate. It shows her dedication, her, like her commitment to becoming a teacher. So that's what it's kind of all about. And I'll stop there for a second to answer any questions about that. Did seeing it
I'm
help at
just
all?
gonna I'll probably have to do a one-on-one about this because I'm like looking
Okay.
at that like, how am I supposed to do that? But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
As far as you mean, so that was
Like
created,
creating it,
okay,
probably.
that was created through Google Sites. And honestly, to me, it doesn't matter what you use. There's Google Sites, there's Weebly, there's Wix, and a ton of other portfolio platforms out there. There's even one in D2L that you can use where I've had students use that. That doesn't matter as much, but a lot of I would say 99% of NLU students use Google Sites because it's free and because, you know, they're familiar with it. So, but let me put in the chat a document I created. I can't minimize Zoom. For whatever reason, I can't minimize Zoom, but I'm going to send you a document that's kind of a how-to with Google Sites. And I walk through how to create documents in Google Sites, how to add things, and it tells you kind of all these things that you do. But I can help you with the logistical part. Like the most important thing, what I mean by that is, let's say Courtney's like, I have no idea how to create this site and make it look pretty. I'm not saying I'm a graphic designer, but I can help you get it at least in, you know, show you how to get it from your computer into this site. So it's like that's the hardest part, is getting all the things together. We can always make it look pretty towards the end. We have 10 weeks to get this thing done. But the most important thing that you can do is start gathering those documents. And I'll send you, like I said, it's a how-to Google Workspace doc to show you how to share Google Docs, how to share Google Slides, how to create a Google site, and how that kind of works. So hopefully that'll help. There are like 10 videos. You don't have to watch them all, use them as you need it. But I tried to make like 10 1-minute videos. Here's how you share a document, you know, and that sort of thing. So hopefully that'll help. But I'm not going to leave you hanging. Promise. Okay. Let's go. And this document's in there. You can go through and, you know, not only look at Marlene's, I mean, she's amazing, but so is everybody else in here. Like, remember when I said Weebly is, you can use whatever you like. So I think this is Teresa who used this. Is that who it is? Yeah, Teresa used Weebly, which is, they have a free version. And I mean, it looks amazing. You know, if you can click through these, get ideas, but again, it's about your, you know, it's about you and your personality coming through. And the one thing I really suggest, again, as I'm looking at this, it's awesome, it's beautiful, attractive. I would, if you have pictures from your class, those are really, really important, because you can, that gives you a lot of talking points with potential principals to help, you know, kind of work through, you know, classroom setup, all of those things, good things that you can talk about. So that's the portfolio. We talked about the portfolio check-in, no big deal, just 3 questions. What have you done so far? What are you working on? What are you doing next week? And are there any roadblocks or challenges? Just looking for a couple sentences. All right, another question. All right, on a scale of 1 to 5, this is going to be telling. Be honest. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning high confidence, 1 low confidence, how do you feel about creating your portfolio? Okay. Got a 3 in there, 4. Can we get 1 5? Okay, I'm going to restart it, because I really want to know. Okay, some 4s. I'll take it. That's not bad. All right, and while we're kind of filling that out, as a follow-up in the chat, can you just write yes if you're experienced with Google Workspace, like Google Docs, Google Slides, and all that sort of thing, or no, you're not familiar with it all? All right, I have my first 2 student teachers. for our class. That's good. Good to know. Okay, we can work with this. We'll make it work. The last thing you really have to kind of worry about, that I want you to worry about, are the technical pieces to it. Yeah, there's some buttons you got to click, and there's some tricky things about Google Sites, but we can, between all of us, we have the knowledge to know what to do. So we'll take care of that, and you will too by the end of this, I promise. All right. Again, in our course, another big thing, the discussion boards. It was designed to help you prepare for what likely will be asked during your teaching interview. Of course, there may be other questions. You know, for example, there wasn't a question about COVID in there, but I'm pretty sure a principal would ask, how has your teaching changed during COVID? Or how has your approach to teaching changed during COVID? So you're going to want to think of that answer and what you're going to say. And again, it's the whole idea of just being fluent, very natural, and being yourself, because you've worked so hard, time, money, effort to get here. It's time to like really make it happen. And I want that to happen for you, hopefully before the end of the term. And it can, if we really plan these next 10 weeks really carefully. All right. This is more of a question. You don't have to, it's not a quiz question, but in the chat, does anyone have strong feelings about what day you would like to meet as a class? Is Thursday okay, or would you prefer Wednesday or Saturday night? Just kidding, not Saturday night.
No, not Saturday night.
I was kidding, that was a joke.
I personally
Tuesday-
prefer earlier. in
Tuesdays
the
or
week.
Thursdays?
You prefer earlier, Dahlia?
Like in the week, meaning like maybe Monday or Tuesday. I mean, around this time is fine.
Okay,
Yeah, earlier in the week, just because it gives us time to prepare and keep working on our portfolios after we ask you questions.
okay. So what if we did it, how about this? We do it earlier in the week, and then that frees me up to meet one-on-one with anyone who wants it.
Right.
you know?
I say Tuesday.
Is
Yeah.
that cool? And then, because if we don't do it till the end of the week, like Thursday, like we are tonight, Thursday, then that kind of limits us, right? So I like that, Monday or
Right.
Tuesday. And again, it's not going to be every week. So, but I think until we get rolling, we'll probably keep meeting on Zoom, and I'll send those invites out either Fridays or over the weekend. So, all right, cool. Any day of the week, 6 still. All right, I will do my very best to make that happen, to keep it 6 p.m. on Monday or Tuesday, and then one-on-ones after. In another doc I'm going to send you, because there are 28 of us or whatever, 25 in our class or something like that. I need your help. I need you to, I'm going to send you, I did send it, I think, in the announcements. It tells you, it explains how to schedule a meeting. So if you ever hear the term, my calendar is up to date, which I heard when I first came to National Louis or got into higher ed a long time ago, I was like, what does that mean? That just means, you know, that I need you to schedule the meeting. You can use my Zoom, but if Dahlia, let's say you want to meet me on Thursday and you can meet at 3 in the afternoon. You'll schedule it, and then I'll say, then I can say, yes, I can be there, or no, I can't do 3, but I can do 4 or something like that, because I have a ton of meetings. But I need you guys to kind of take that responsibility, and then just schedule time with me when you need, you know, and we'll keep it to like half-hour blocks. If something big comes up and we need like more time, no problem. But I'll send you the how-to video for that, how to schedule a meeting. All right. We're getting there, guys. There's one more thing in the chat. I need 6. Okay. All right, next. And I think you guys got this one. It's easy. It is a course requirement to attend class Zoom sessions. True or false? And most of us answered, I think. Well, there we go. I think we all kind of know that it is not a requirement. And the follow-up to that would be, oh, here's the leaderboard. Oh, we got a tie. We got a bunch of first place finishers, but the questions weren't that hard, to be honest. True or false? It is highly suggested that you attend as many class Zoom sessions as possible. I'm going to make a guess that we all got this one. Yes, it is highly suggested. Not because I think I'm super entertaining, but just because it's a good way to kind of stay in communication with each other. And leaderboard. Uh-oh, Hannah dropped down. Hannah. Okay. And oh, you know what? I did. Here's how you schedule your one-on-one Zoom sessions. And I created a short video. This isn't it. But it's like 1 minute and 46 seconds that shows you how to schedule a video with me. That'll make it infinitely easier to keep track of everything, because what happened in the past, I'm like, sure, you know, we're gonna meet one-on-one. And then 30 students were like, I'm ready to meet right now, I'm ready to meet right now, and through email, and then it got insane. So that'll help keep things organized. I could really use your help with that. This next one, I'm gonna basically just say, everyone, the answer to this is yes. Just say absolutely there. Look at that, we got 100%. All right, let's see how Hannah did. Just kidding, Hannah. Oh, it didn't come up, okay. All right, now the big one, Go React videos. All right, you have 4 videos this term, okay? 2 are gonna be viewed by me, and 2 are gonna be viewed by your coach, all right? The videos are due in February 7th, February 21st, March 7th, and March 21st. So 4 videos, 2 by me, 2 by your instructor. This is how you register with Go React. We used it last term. You're gonna have to create an account. I have an account. And then once you do, you're gonna log in. And mine's gonna look different than you because I have every professor's, I set up every professor's Go React for the school, for our team. So, which was a challenge because I didn't really know Go React that well myself, but I did it. So video 1, your coach is gonna look at it. Video 2, I will. Video 3, your coach. Video 4, me. And these due dates, again, we're super flexible because at least 3 times we've already heard tonight, not just from you, but from many other students, how crazy things are, unpredictable, in terms of, you know, getting shut down and all that stuff, right? So if you're like, Mr. Green, I can't teach it this week, I need to teach it next week. Okay. But here are the instructions for it, and they're the same for every lesson. And then whenever you're ready to like you have your, you guys know this, you did so awesome with it. And I said that to professors, I'm like, the only people who may struggle with this are us. The students love it. I feel like it's really great to give feedback and easy to give feedback, and it's the best platform I've seen. But when you're ready, you just start your assignment, put your title, and I'm just gonna put test and then continue. All right, and then you have your instructions. When you're ready, continue, a couple tips there. And you can either upload, you can record it live if you want. You can upload your video directly from your hard drive. If you have a YouTube channel, you can do that. And for even like for this Zoom, I could upload this Zoom, which is a good idea. I might just upload this Zoom when we're done right to Go React. But the thing is, and then once it's in there, if you remember from last term, we'll go in and you can receive comments on exactly, how you're doing. And let me show you one more thing. Let me edit this and show you. So can you see these colored marker things? So spend a little time once you log in looking for this. This is what your coaches are going to be looking for. So let's say your coach is watching you, Dahlia, and it's only a 7 to 10 minute video. That's it. It doesn't have to be, last time we did like in 30 minutes to an hour. That's crazy. We're doing 7 to 10 minutes. And I see Dahlia, I'm watching her video and I see, oh, she's leading a group discussion. Bam. I
Oh, that's
click
how
that.
much, that's how long the videos can be, 7 to 10. Perfect.
Yeah, we don't really want more than that. That's like too much, for you and the instructor and coach. And then, so they're all things like building relationships. Familiarize yourself with this. That's what they're looking for. And if Dahlia missed, let's say she missed providing feedback or something, I don't know, I'm just picking one here. Then I would, in the first video, I would say, Dahlia, I didn't see you providing feedback. I'd like to see in your next video you doing that and have a conversation. It's more of a conversation with your coach and me than anything else. Does that make sense? And since you guys already registered, you might not even have to create an account. You might be able to log right in. But this is the, let me copy and paste this. This is the, darn it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is the invite. So here's how, just to show you a little. I had to do this for every instructor and plus a billion other things, but users, here we go. Come on. Invite users. All right, I'm gonna copy this link. And again, it's gonna be in your, in this presentation, but I'm just gonna put it here. That's the link used to join Go React. So you can click on it now and you'll get you'll be able to join right up. We have some people. How'd you guys get in there already?
I think you just log in because I only went in there once. And
That's amazing.
logged
Okay.
right in.
Well, if you're, oh, good. Well, you don't have to register then, I guess, but it's 470/ELE and look for my name. It's called ST Online ECE 470/ELE 470 Neil Green. And then that's where you can be. But that's how you join. And I know you can do it because you all did it last term. So I'm confident in that. But if you get stuck, no problem. That's why I'm here. All right. So again, 2 videos for me and 2 videos for your coach. All right. So just my advice is start recording like now, early and often. And again, it doesn't have to be Hollywood type production. It could be just you teaching. I want to see you teach because it's hard to provide feedback if I can't see you,
Professor, I got a question.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
So does it have to be whole group or can it be a small group?
Can be anything. And not only that, it can be any subject for us.
Right.
Now, for
any
the
sub-
methods courses, they have to, if you're in a math methods course, they have to teach a math lesson. For us, it's anything. Why?
Okay.
Because I know you're constricted by what your host teacher needs to accomplish. Like your mentor teacher has curriculum they need to cover. Ideally, would it be you mix it up and teach a math lesson here, a reading lesson? Sure, but totally understand if that's not possible.
Oh, no, I was just asking, we're following the breakdown of what we are supposed to like accomplish every week to like release the classroom to us. And I don't really fully take over into February.
Right. So,
So-
okay. So yeah. So for you because you're going to want to record before that, right?
Yes.
So it might just be a small group with you and
Okay.
2 children or 4 children, whatever works. That's
I
just
have
you
6.
teaching.
It
It's
could
just
also
all
be
about
it
like,
could also be a transition or anything. Really,
Yeah.
morning meeting or anything she has you doing.
Oh, okay,
Exactly.
Kenya, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, because I already do all that, the morning meeting.
there you go,
Right.
record that. It's just really, I think, again, when we kind of were going through all this stuff, thinking about what you need, and we asked some students, of course, but it's like, I think when I was a student teacher, what I valued most was getting feedback on like what I'm teaching. Like, what do I sound like? Am I talking too fast? Am I talking too slow? Am I boring as, I'll get out. Like, so it's those kind of things. And that's what, I try to tell the coaches, don't focus so much on the due dates. Like, just focus on getting feedback to our students so they're ready to run their own classroom when they graduate. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're getting there. Now we got to finish this game. Okay. True. I think they're all true or false. True or false, I have to submit 4 videos to Go React this term. Courtney, if you missed this, you were in so much trouble. I'm just kidding. I just saw you and thought I'd pick on you. Where's Hannah? I can't tell. I can't tell. Wait, there's Hannah. She must be up to something. Time's up. That is correct. 4 videos are due. And the leaderboard. All right, it's neck and neck. I think we're gonna have some ties here. I'll make it more competitive next time. True or false, my professor will provide feedback for 2 videos and coach will provide feedback for 2 videos. And kind of what I'm doing here is, if it's not obvious, is just repeating myself to kind of ingrain it in there. That is true. Okay, so we reviewed the due dates, how to see the instructions, how to start assignments, those markers, they're called HLP or high leverage practice markers. And then I'm going to grade you using a rubric, but it's the same rubric we used last term. It's just, I want to see you establishing respect and rapport with your students, encouraging discussion. I want to see all those things. So those are all in there. Yeah.
I do have a question just popped out. So since our videos are not specific to like say a subject, I may be wrong or might have changed and I missed it. I remember that we were told that we also had to submit like a lesson plan for that. Is that still, do we have to do that?
If not for me, if your coach your coach may ask you, like, remember when we were talking about if they don't see one of those markers, like if they didn't see you providing feedback and you say, well, I did, it wasn't in that 7 to 10 minute clip, but I did at the end of the lesson or something, I don't know, then they may ask to see a copy of it. But as far as me, no, you don't have to turn it into me.
Okay.
And don't turn it into your coach unless they tell you to, or ask for it specifically, but I wouldn't ask, I wouldn't bring it up. That's my advice. It's up to you. All right. Other stuff. I told you there was some like a few other assignments that are not huge to your grade, but I just want to make sure everybody knows the resource sharing doc in module 9. And then we're going to start the disposition assessment module 9 and finish it in module 10. And then the end of course survey at the end of the term. And that's it. So there's a lot more to come. Again, the best thing you can do right now is build a folder for your portfolio. Use that document. Where was it? Use this use this document, make a copy of it, and or make a column, you know what I mean? Insert a column to the right, then you can start checking them off. You can start saying, I have that, I have that, I have that, and just trying to get as many of these things together as you can. I know you're going to do awesome. I know it's a lot. Go React has been kind of, I hope it hasn't been too much. I hope I was right, by the way. I said that nobody, the only people who are kind of freaking out about Go React are the professors, not the students, because you guys did so well with it. Do you still, I'll go back to the first question. How do you feel now? Do you feel okay? Do you feel better? Still a little, Okay, Courtney?
I'm good. I'm ready to get started and get this bad boy done.
Awesome. Hannah, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. All right. Yeah. Just, have fun with this portfolio. It will end up, hopefully it'll be something you carry with you throughout your career and you add to it, you take away. And then you'll put things in like, the content, like tests you pass, like certifications, all that good stuff go in there. And it's just a book of you that can travel with you throughout your career. It's something that you can take with you. And it's a really beautiful showcase. But any questions? Actually, I have a question for you before we go. do you want to meet next Tuesday to just kind of until we get things stabilized, or should we skip a week and just go totally one-on-one? Dahlia?
I'm okay either. I mean, a lot of things got clarified for me today, so I'm okay either way.
You can put in the chat, yes for next week, no if you want to skip a week. That would be helpful. I just want to know, because I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure that it's valuable. And this week was all about just going over the assignments. Next week, or the next few meetings, I really want to dig into content. Like this week, the theme was lesson planning. I mean, I want to dig into those kind of things to make sure that you, okay. All right, I see a few yeses, so I'll set it up. Okay, thank you. That makes me feel good. So I'll set it up, and if you can make it, please be here, and we'll do something, you know, around a particular theme that's going to be important to you for your job. Another thing that I touched on that I'd like you to do this term, let me know where you really want to work. Like, what's your number one school? What's your number two school? Your number three school? And let's really think about it. And especially during those one-on-ones, let's start the application process or look through it. Like, what are you up against? Some schools, which is great, are linked. Like it's called AppleTrack or something, which a lot of you probably know way better than I do. But that means they're hooked or linked to one another. So if you apply to one district, it's linked to another district. Or if you apply to one school in a district, it's linked to every school in the district when you apply. So that makes it easier, right? But not everyone's like that. So we want to work through those details, and I want to help you. You know, I'm like your colleague here, so use me at this point. I'm like your job coach. I want to help you get a job. And the last thing, we will, towards the end of the term, or actually no, whenever you have your resume ready, send it to me. So I'll send it to our career people, because we can have them look it over. They're experts at writing resumes. So why not? Let's use them, right? Let's use all of our resources. They're a good one to have that can look over your resume and say, oh, well, you know, LaTanya, you're missing this. You know, why don't you format it like this? I'm not good at that. So let's give it to the experts and let them do it. All right, so send me your resume when you have it. Other than that, go teach. Have a good time. Enjoy the kids. It's Friday. I missed you guys. I'm going to stop recording.